Yeah, welcome to another episode of Dark Skies Podcast. Coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, from the Bay to LA. And today, we're talking about President Trump and his recent visit to California and some of the things that he had to say. We're going to play a couple of clips. We're going to talk a little bit about what he said about border security, U.S. and Mexican relations, and what's going on in South California. Well, San Diego is checking in. So I'm going to give y'all a chance to make yourselves comfortable. You found Dark Skies Podcast, news and information, live on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Spreaker.com, YouTube. Well, you name it, we're there. Oh man, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Well, we found another episode of Dark Skies Podcast. I mean, it's a beautiful day. It's the weekend. And, President Trump was recently here. So, we're going to take a moment and, chop it up. Talk about that. We want to see, what the president had to say, when he was in our beautiful but very strange state of California. So let's get the introductions out of the way. I'm your host, LC Grace. We got Mikey Nikes in the building. We got Jim helping out with the sound levels. We got Jennifer. We got Becky. And everybody's here. And it's like a political show, huh? Well, we're covering things because, especially when it hits close to home. President was here in our state. And, he was talking border security. He was talking about the wall. He was talking about California and its inability to, follow directions when it comes to the National Guard. And, some of the things that are happening here. And it's incredible, that, like I said, the attention that this subject is getting. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but we have a lot of people across the pond listening. UK, France, Germany, Sweden, right? What's going on? But we get people messaging us all the time because they're curious about what's going on with this, immigration situation, right? So people in Europe is, checking in. They want to know what's happening. People in China, Japan, in Asia, they want to know what's happening. They want to see, how America handles the situation. Well, President Bush is, basically, balls to the wall. He's trying to handle this, the best way he can, like a pit bull. He's trying to, take the problem head on. And he feel like, this problem has been neglected by, past presidents and past leaders. And he feel like that, this is, his calling, to actually, fix this border, and make it more secure. And in his eyes, make Americans more safe. So we've been getting, story after story come in, from CNN, CNBC, Fox News, So all of these different medias and, and you just want to try to get a, a fair and accurate, depiction of the situation. Now, we have friends down in Mexico and, they stay in touch with us, como estas, and they love to, let us know, the situation, especially when it comes to, the migrants and, the people that are moving up, from Guatemala. El Salvador, and even, possibly Venezuela. Huh? I mean, we don't know where all these people are coming from. We just know that there's a lot of people and that they're moving north. And that, they come to claim asylum. They need, help. Why else would somebody travel so far? So, this is a situation that, is becoming more and more out of control as the numbers increase and increase and increase. And then we got people that do claim asylum, but then you have the people that cross the border, illegally, that are not here to claim asylum. You got people that, truly need help, and then you got some people that, are here to take advantage. Are here to, better their opportunity to, sell their drugs or human trafficking, right? These are the things that are being reported. These are the reasons, for border security, right? This is the reason, that, CNN, fake news CNN, is saying that, there's no problem, there's no emergency. 4,000 people coming across the border illegally, that's nothing. But I spend a lot of time, trying to, make heads and tails of it though, right? Because it could be that, there is no problem, right? Maybe it's a figment of all of our imagination. But that's just not, what, the evidence seems to be pointing at. Now, I'm all for helping people. And I think that, Mexicans should do a lot more to, help with this migration situation, with supplies and, and shelter and, asylum, if this is what these people truly seek. But then at the same time, that's a lot of burden to put on Mexico, right? Mexico should not have to, take this burden on alone. And that's where the U.S. and the UN and the rest of the world is watching. France, Germany, the UK, Asia, all you places that are watching, all of these people that, they say they need help. Everybody should be stepping up and, trying to take some of these immigrants and help them, find a safer and more productive life where they can actually be happy, well fed, have an opportunity to work and provide for themselves and for their loved ones. But no one country should, harbor all the burden, not Mexico, not America. You can't send them all to China. UK, they can't take them all. They all can't end up in France. So, what's the answer? These are things that should be, discussed in the UN. Where is the UN? Do the UN exist in this dimension? I haven't heard them, who's in charge? Where they at? Because it's some things that they can do. How come no fingers are being pointed that way? But it's just my opinion, because I'm not CNN, I'll give you my opinion, but I'm not trying to sway yours. It's just my personal opinion. I'm just looking, I'm just seeing, and I'm telling you what I see. But I will say, when the president was here, we learned a little. So let's listen to what he had to say.
He's living in a different world, and that's a very dangerous world he's living in. And if he keeps living there, lots of problems for the people of California. They don't want that. They want to be secure. They want to be safe. And not only asylum, but many other things, loopholes. When you have an asylum situation where rough, tough people with criminal records are asking for asylum, it doesn't work that way. So we have a full system. Nothing we can do. Thank you very much, everybody.
See, I can kind of understand what he's saying, but people are like, oh, he's so mean. He's being mean. He's horrible. What's mean and horrible about that? He's saying that Californians want to be safe, which they do. But it's funny because the voice of Californians is never heard. It's just our leaders who speak. But how we actually feel, the actual citizens of California, our voices are never heard. You never hear the voices of the homeless. You never hear the voices of the hungry or the people that are on welfare, the people that are barely making it, day to day, week to week, paycheck to paycheck. Their voices are never heard. You hear voices like Jesse Smollett. That's the voices of California. Our governor. Our leaders speak for us, and we don't even know what they be saying or what the hell they talking about. But, we go on with our lives because we too busy, to say, to stop and say, hey, that person don't speak for me. Or that person, I don't know, what Garcetti's talking about. Garcetti don't speak for me. I speak for myself. That's why I got this podcast. That's why I got Dark Skies News and Information. That's why I got a team of researchers working on our projects and our stories. And I don't need nobody to tell me what's happening in the world. I'll find out myself to the best of my ability. Or I rely on people that are quite like me, interested in the subject, but yet willing to go deep and dig and find their own answers. Because CNN, they tell the story with a slant. I don't know if you're being completely honest with me, CNN. So I got to do it myself. Ain't that what Thanos said when he stuck his hand in the gauntlet? I'm going to do it myself. You goddamn right, I'm going to do it myself. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to stay calm. But it's hard. Because the people of California, our voices are not being heard. You think if our voices are being heard, you would be hearing the voices of California saying, tax us more. Don't fix our roads. Make the housing so high that none of us can afford it. How about the rent prices? Why don't you jack up the rent prices so high nobody can afford it? Why don't you make, all crimes legal? Like people can steal your shit. That's legal. People can beat you out your money. That's legal. People can do whatever they want, right? They can shoplift. It's legal. I can't shoplift. I go to jail. Wouldn't see my kids. It's real when they say that, it's certain laws that's for some people, the working class, and then there's no laws for the not working class. Yeah, we got a gang element. We got fires. This is California. I paint the true picture. That's why people come here, because they know exactly what's happening, because we're talking about exactly what's happening. So we covered the Nipsey Hussle story. And now it's border security. The president, is in town. And what is he saying?
Construction, but a lot more is coming in very, very, very soon. Money's been transferred. Money's been approved. And that wasn't easy. When you have people that don't want to give you money, that's not so easy. But we know we need it. We have no choice. So I just want to thank you all, and let's go see the wall. Thank you.
Yeah, it's not easy when people don't want to give you money. It's not easy when you're going to court and you're always battling and you're fighting for every inch. Our government spends so much time fighting, they don't actually get anything accomplished, anything done. And at the same time, who's losing? Us in the middle. Us. You don't have to be a Democrat to be a loser in America. You could just be an American. And an American that work 1, 2 jobs, 2, 3 parent household, 3, 4 family households. Yes, 2 or 3 family households where 2 or 3 families have to live in one household in order to make up enough money in order to survive. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I being mean? Are you going to protest me? I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a person that's being hurt by what's happening. Every time I go to the pump and I pay extra. Because I live in California. You don't give me that. Everybody want to be outraged. Don't tell me that you mad about who the president is. You ain't got no answers. You ain't got no ideas. If your idea is only hate, then I don't want to hear that. Don't you know America was built on hate? That shit is over. It's time for new things, new ideas. And not the green idea. Stupid. I understand trying to help the world and trying to fix the problems of the world. But everything's not going to happen overnight. You got to have an idea. You got to have plans. And you got to make, you have to have ideas to make those plans work. You have to have people willing to go in that direction. People got to like you. That's what President Trump get, that's where he get in trouble at. You heard what I said? People got to like you. But people not going to like you when you telling the truth. Look at my views. I'm not the most popular person in the world. I tell the truth. You tell the truth, nobody like you. You get on here and start lying, everybody like you. If I got on here and start bashing Trump, I have more listeners. I get on here and start bashing Nancy Pelosi, I probably, have more listeners. I want to get on Bernie's. I want to get on Bernie Sanders' back. Just give me some more listeners. Got no problem with Bernie. Got no problem with Trump. Got no problem with Pelosi. Got no problem with none of them. Do your job. I do my job. I got to do my job. I got to work. If me and my team was fighting every day, we never get nothing done. We never get we couldn't get the show off the ground. This station would be dead. But because we get along, and because we can talk, and because we can filter out, the crap, the negativity, we can move past, the small skirmishes, the disagreements. We can make sense of the senseless. Is it my job or is it your job, people? So President Trump is here in California, and we getting, just clips and clips, and they coming in and they telling us what the president is saying. But I don't want to hear what you say. What did the president say? What's happening? I'm tired of the go-betweeners. So here's the voices, right? The president is here. This is what's being said.
With General Semonite's team's assistance, that wall is formidable. It's making an impact in the security of this sector, but we need to continue to work with Congress on improving the laws. As you noted, we need partnership from Mexico on these flows and tackling the criminals that are exploiting these individuals and really the ones that are profiting from this entire cycle. And I just want to thank my men and women who do a tremendous job here every day. Very, very proud of their commitment, even though they're facing extreme challenges, as you heard.
And the central casting, I've never seen a group of people it's in perfect shape. And you're proud of what you do. You wouldn't trade places with me for anything. I know that, right? You're smart. Don't do it. Don't do it. Dave, you were mentioning before about people coming in and they come in and they come in. You don't have to take them in. When your system is packed, when you cannot get another person in, when every one of your detention areas is teeming and you have to let people go into a country that can't take them. Can't take them. We don't have room. We don't have room. That means you can't take them. You don't understand it. I don't think anyone's ever expressed it like that, but I'm expressing it like that. When it's full, it's full. You can't take them. They go back to Mexico, and Mexico will bring them back to their country, okay? Or if they're Mexican, it's a step easier, frankly. And again, over the last 4 days, Mexico's been very nice, okay? So this just, because you made a point that was very interesting. But you can't take them, you can't take them. There's nothing you can do, okay? I'd like to maybe end by having a man who's really been a help, and that's Kevin McCarthy. You can speak on behalf of your great representatives that are here with you. And maybe you could stand up and say a few words, Kevin, because you've been very much at the forefront of this fight, and you love this state very much. Well, thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of all these members.
Yes. So the president is here. He's talking border security, right? And we got the border officials down there, and they're meeting with the president. They're talking about the wall. They're talking about, the amount of people that are coming across the border and, do we have, enough to, handle it. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, should it be on any country, to, take on the full brunt of this problem? Or should it be the world's problem where everybody's stepping up and trying to, do a little bit, instead of all on America? Like walk right through Mexico to get to America. And Mexico, could, offer some more assistance. Because the run or the great migration north, is just, it's a perilous journey. It's tough. It's hard. It's hard on families. It's hard on women. It's hard on children. It's hard on men to put their families through that type of stuff. I mean, I don't know if you know what it's like to actually struggle, but, the struggle is real, man. It's hard to be hungry. It's hard to be cold. It's hard to be in a strange place. It's hard to be traveling with people you don't know, but still trying to get somewhere where you have to go. In some of these people's mind, just make it to America. That's all I got to do. Once I make it there, at least I'll have a chance. Now, I spend a lot of time complaining because it's toe up here. Our roads are toe up. We got road diets. Forget you, Garcetti. We got problems in our city. We got problems in our state with homelessness. We got, poverty. We got high prices everywhere. It's like inflation, but where's the money? I'm trying to tell y'all the truth. California got problems. It's beautiful, though. This is my home. We got great weather most of the time. It's a lovely place to live. If you can afford it. If you can't afford it, it becomes hell. It becomes hell. You can't go nowhere. You can't get nowhere. You want to go somewhere in public transportation? Good luck. The buses suck. The trains suck. It ain't that, they ain't going to get you to where you're going, because you can get to where you're going on the bus. But what you going to be sitting in? Or where you going to be sitting, by? What you going to be inhaling? What you going to be exposed to? Man, and on the trains, you could get on the train and then sit down. And am I lying, LA? You can sit on the trains, the metro, and you get up and you find out you were sitting in a wet spot. And the whole time you're thinking to yourself, the hell, what is that? What is it? You just hoping that it's water. Have y'all ever sat in a wet spot riding the metro trains? Or are you smart and you touch the seat before you sit down? I'm telling y'all, man, don't give me that public transportation. And what about the scooters in the street? You try not to run these people over. What about the bike lanes? They're taking away actual traffic lanes and making bike lanes. Come on. Do I have to continue? Oh, it's so wonderful here in California. It's so great. This is my home. So I could talk about my home. I love my home. I can say what I want. I can speak truthfully about home. People be like, oh, y'all got gang problems. You got that? Yes, we do. We got gang problems. And I ain't going to lie. Y'all got drug problems? Yes, we got drug problems. There are drugs all over the place. Not just in low society, but in high society. Amongst the government officials. Everybody. So don't give me that. California is, a cesspool. All kinds of strangeness. That's why I call, the strangest place in America, just Los Angeles. The home of dark skies, news, and information. I wish I could just do some wonderful stories about puppies and barbecues, beautiful skies and fine women, great music and great eatery. But no, you can't go to a Dodger game because somebody got beat up, head crushed. Somebody got paralyzed. Do I have to point out the negativity? I'm not just pointing out the negativity. But I'm just letting you know, You know, there's two sides of the mirror. It's the side which is you, and then it's your image that you're looking at. So the image that Californians portray, and we see amongst America and everybody else, is the 5th largest economy. You know, we working here. You know? So we do what we can, right? We're trying to survive. It's day to day. But our voices are never heard. So, you know, your voice is heard here. Because people talk to me, they tell me what's happening. You know, we're part of the communities. How you doing, Inglewood? How you doing, Watts, Compton? You know, this is our home. Long Beach. This is our home. Linwood, South Bay, Torrance, Gardena. Our surrounding areas, baby. This is us. So when you start to hear the main, you know, reporters, when I say main reporters, you know, from the media, right? The mainstream media. You know, they tell you one thing and you just don't hear the whole story. You don't know, you know, what happened. What did Trump accomplish when he came here? Well, you got a little bit here. You kind of know, you know, what he did while he was here. You know, I don't know exactly what they're saying no more because I kind of shut the news off. You know, because every time it's a news story, I just get lost. You know, because their stories just make you want to. Yeah. You know, you can't take them seriously, man. Look, because they're mad. They're doing their stories from emotion. Me, I do mine from passion. You know, I got passion for what I do. You know, bring in the real. And I ain't going to stop, man. You know, because somebody want me to stop. Am I hurting somebody's feelings? Do the truth hurt? No, they're going to ram me out of town because I'm honest. You know, am I really making people angry? Are people ready to hear the truth? Well, I think people are ready to hear the truth. So that's why, you know, they checking in with us. You know, man. And it's your boy.
I ain't scared to die. I told them I'm down with it. I never change up. They say that how I'm living, that I need to wake up. I'm slinging that iron with it. They'll never frame us. They want me dead, but I ain't scared. I got my change up.
Never gonna change. Yes, indeed. Man, I'm LC Grays. You listening to Dark Skies Podcast. The whole team was here. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you, Mikey. Thanks, Jennifer, Becky. Hey, thanks, Jim. Hey, Virginia, New York, tri-state area, Florida. Thanks for joining us. I love you all. And, hey, you get the real here, don't you? Man. It never ends, though. We got more coming later. Stay with us. We'll be dropping more stuff on Twitter, Facebook. Man, thanks for joining us, man. If you miss us live, you can catch us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, as well as YouTube. Thanks for joining us, man. LC Grays. And that's a fact.